everybody, I'm Liesl,
I'm Alicia.
and you are about to watch our wonderful video on bullet journaling. And we just wanted to let you know that this is going to be the first of
A few,
a few.
at least.
Yeah, we decided that, we're going to be updating our bullet journals monthly. So we thought that as a good little add-on to this video, because this is really just a very basic intro to what the capabilities are of bullet journaling. And so when we're filling out our monthly bullet journal, we'll do that on film.
We'll invite you along.
So we will see you again, well, in a few minutes here.
Shortly.
When you continue watching this video, but then also
Next month.
next month.
Stay tuned.
So yes, stay tuned. We'll see you in just a few.
Bye.
Hi everybody. We are back again with another wonderful program for our summer reading end of the summer party.
Yeah.
And it's very exciting. Thank you for being with us all summer. And this is Alicia, our
Hi.
adult programming
Librarian.
And we're going to be doing...
It's been a long summer.
It has. It's been a very long summer. A very interesting summer, indeed.
Different
Yes.
from any of the others.
It has. So we're going to be doing a bullet journaling 101 workshop today.
Yeah.
And Alicia is going to show me how to do some of it.
Right.
So very excited to learn about this. I could definitely use some organization in my life. And so with the end of the year approaching, holidays, everything is going to start ramping up and getting busy. And so we're
Trying to get organized.
absolutely going to be on top of everything.
Yeah. So the first thing is, what is a bullet journal?
Yes.
You may have heard of one. A bullet journal is, we all get these planners and everything, and I've got, 6 or 7 different planners from different places, and they work and they don't work, and then I just forget, and this, that, and the other. A bullet journal, which you can go to, I think, bulletjournal.com to get the official one, but you can really make your own, like we're going to do.
Yes.
Is part planner, part brain dump, part just journaling. Like you can it's like an art journal. You can draw in it. You can put anything in here.
Yeah.
The thing that I like about it, sometimes I'll put like my knitting, and then I can just have it right here while I'm knitting and check off where I am, what row I'm on, or if I'm planning a party, or if I'm writing a short story. I've got information, anything that just comes in my brain, rather than me having it in little sticky notes
Absolutely.
everywhere that
Yeah.
or in 7 different notebooks. I have it all in one place.
And one of the really nice things that you had mentioned to me while we were talking about this too is that the nice thing about a bullet journal, instead of having something that already has the dates listed in it, you can kind of be flexible with it. So as you're, this is my first bullet journal, so it's probably going to look haphazard in the beginning because I'm learning what works for me, and I'll be learning, if it's, do I want to go this route? Do I want to go this route? So we're kind of going to touch on all these different little things that you can do with it.
Right.
It's very
right.
exciting.
Yeah, because mine starts out one way, and as I find what it works for me and what doesn't, I modified it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. A lot of people make this a planner. They put out their spreads. A spread is what you put in your journal to set up, like you draw the calendar in there, and there's a calendar spread and a tracking spread and all of these different spreads, which we'll go over. But I find that I don't use it as a planner as much as I use it. I don't use it as a calendar planner where I say, this is what I'm doing on this day, this is what I'm doing at this time, so much as I am it's more of a project management for me.
Yeah.
But other people use it for their daily planner, and it works really well for that.
Awesome.
I'll show you some examples from mine, and we will build one together.
Yay!
Let's see, where do we want to start? Let's say if you've signed up for the kits that we are offering, they are going to be a notebook with dots, and that's kind of one of the things that's about these bullet journals, is that the dots you make grids off of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's very flexible that way.
That's great.
You need pens, and so we are providing not only a black pen, but all these other colors too.
Fun.
Makes it fun if you like to color code things.
Yeah.
You will want a ruler, and we will supply one. I also recommend, although we are not providing these, scissors. And for decoration, you'll get into this. I become addicted to it. Washi tape. Washi tape.
Yes.
My mother the other day was saying, "What is washi tape?" Let me find some non-Halloween washi tape. Washi tape is decorative tape. It's got a very light adhesive on it, but it's really nice for putting on and decorating the edges of things or demarking. And see, it's very thin, but it's pretty.
It is very pretty.
And there's about as many different kinds of washi tape as you can imagine. So if you like certain things, if you want yours to be danger, this is something I need to look at, or if Halloween's coming. So those are some of the things that you will need. I also recommend with your pens to have a pencil. There are many different ways to start this, but a lot of people make them decorative. I like to sketch mine out with a pencil first before I ink it. That way, because I wouldn't know that. I guess I'm kind of a perfectionist, but not so much so. But I do like having, in case I make a mistake, I can erase it. However, it's also good to have whiteout, and it's okay to make mistakes in these things. It's just your brain. It's all right. That sounds funny, doesn't it?
It does.
You can use whiteout. I also like using stickers. This is a sticker. I'll put this here. I just put a sticker on mine.
Oh, nice.
And you'll see it says bullet journal. I don't know if you can actually see that.
Yeah.
But you can put stickers in your bullet journal or draw or whatever. And it becomes, as you can see, a work in progress and such things.
Love it.
One of the first things that denotes a bullet journal is you start out with a key.
Yes.
So if you use it as a planner, there is a, let me see if I can put this here and move this. You put a key in the front, and because what you're doing is you're marking what you have as you put down your different tasks throughout the day. Once we build a spread and you would write your tasks for the day, you put these little dots. A dot is a task, right? Once you've completed that task, you just cross it out with an X. So that's the end of that.
Yeah.
If you didn't do that task today and you need to move it to tomorrow or next week or even next month, you put a little arrow. And then in your next spread, you remember to come back here and take these.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Cool.
This key suggests a scheduled, meaning like if you've got an appointment or something, you're like, I have this task, well, I scheduled it.
Nice.
Little dash would be a note. An event would be a circle or an O, right? To say, oh, this is the end of summer reading party.
Yes.
I
exactly.
would put that little O there. Once you have, if something becomes irrelevant, you can just mark it out. Zip, mark it like that.
Yeah.
And if something is priority, you make a little asterisk. Right? Now you can create your own key, and this being a bullet journal from the bullet journal people, this was their recommendation, but I actually wrote those in, and you'll see that there are spaces for more key things. For more, if I say this is, I can't even think of one. If I could put an exclamation point on here and say this is priority, and this has to be done within the next whatever time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And then the other thing about bullet journals is that they have an index, and this is what I love.
Yes.
You have a future log at first, which is where you put the whole year. I'm going to scooch forward to that.
Okay.
So I put my year in my future log. You'll see it says future log. You don't have to write future log, and these are blank. This just happens to already have those pages taken care of.
Yeah.
And anything that I know I'm going to be doing for that month, Now this is a, just to let you know, this is a 2018.
Okay.
So this is not from this year.
Okay.
But it tells me when my game nights were, when I was going camping, when I have a meeting, different things that I was planning on doing that year. But then, and then there's instructions. It says instructions 241 and 248. That's the very end. There's some information back there. But as I fill in my pages, I come up here and I'll write what's on this page and what pages are they on. And if you'll notice, I don't know if you can see this. Let me push this up just a little bit.
There we go. Yeah.
These pages are numbered.
Yes.
Now I've covered that one up with some washi tape, but my goals, books to read. See, that's page 7 is books to read. All right. So I would go over here on my index, books to read, page 7 and 8. And if I fill up those pages, and then on page 30, I've added some more books, I just come up to books to read and I add 30, like
Awesome.
I did, let's see, story ideas, page 13 and 14, page 48, and page 54 so
Cool.
far.
Yeah.
So that's why this is really nice. You can keep adding to it, and you will do that with your own.
That's great.
So, any questions so far?
No. I'm loving this though.
Okay. So we are going to set up a bullet journal. The
Yes.
first thing you want to do is make your key. All right. Let's get, and you can buy these little journals. I got these to give out because they were just nice and big, and you can play with them. But I like these that are small that you can just add. And you can put them in your backpack or your whatever you want to do. So let's say I'm going to start this and make a key. Like I said, I always start with a pencil, assuming, and I might, here, I'll move this right here.
Sure.
You can be as particular about this as you want. I like to count the number of rows I have and divide up things like that. But this one, I'm going to draw myself a little line at the top. Just like that, along those. And then I'm going to probably fill this in later, but I might make this look kind of nice. And I would write key. You know, and if you want, you can decorate them. If you're artistically inclined, you can maybe make you a little key here. Just like that. There.
Oh, look at you go.
And then, and I might do one on the other side. Let's say, probably, this is why I use a pencil, because I'm sketching.
Yeah.
And then I would probably pay more attention to my spacing. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want. These can be as simple, as minimalistic, or as ornate as you like.
Yeah.
So when I come here, I'm going to make this where I'm going to put my stuff. A dot
Okay.
is a task. And then I would go over this with ink. You could just use a pen to begin with if you like. An X, for me, means it is completed. And a forward arrow means, let's see, how did they put this over here? They say migrated. It means moving it to the next day or week, or however you like. And so the idea here is, I'm just going to play over here. You can see, if I have a task that is bathe the cat.
Good luck.
Right. Right. I think I went off the edge there. I did. Anyway, once that's done, I would just put a little X through it.
Ah.
And then again, you can make the rest of them up as you want. You know, this can be an event. You know, this can be priority. Whatever you like to do. And then, like I said, you can go behind and ink. So then you can make everything permanent, and anything that you don't want, you just erase.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So your next thing is going to be your index.
I love the index.
I do too.
It's really cool.
So you'll just come down here. And again, line that up, and I'm fairly certain I'm okay with this line. I'm not even going to bother with a pencil.
Oh, see, I messed mine up. My only thing that's going to be a challenge about this is that I am a little bit particular about how this is going to look. Like, I'm going to want it to look perfect.
Well, that's what stickers and whiteout and
Yes, yeah.
erasing. And they do have, if you've made a mistake on one of your spreads, like I did here, but it doesn't really matter, there are ways to do what's called barn dooring. And it's where you take off just like the top or the bottom and you fold your page over so it becomes a half page.
Oh.
And so you can have, like I could have my
That's neat.
beginning of my index here, and then
Yeah.
I would say, oops, on this one, I made a mistake. So I would continue my index on this page.
Oh, okay.
This would become the barn door, and I would have notes that just
Yes.
went back and forth between them.
Oh, that's neat.
Little barn door, but this would be
Yeah.
this would make it become a half a page, or
Yeah. Or I
or
guess you could just
something.
even fold it into the spine, like that kind
you
of
certainly could. You could
Yeah.
just do right like that, and that would be,
thing. Yeah.
you know, your
Cool.
creativity is all you need. This is page 2. This is page 3, right? So, page 1 is your key. Pages 2 and 3 are your index.
I like it.
And then I would probably, now see, I've already done something that I normally would have done this the other way. I would have put key first and 1 and index 2 and 3. That way you could continue to add out if you needed to, so that my index, if I need to at the very later in the year, I can also say, if I fill up 2 pages, I can go back and then say pages 73 through 74. Pages 108 through 109. I can keep adding to it.
Nice.
Right? Next, you would have your future log. Now, once you've done this a while, you may or may not decide that you want a future log. But future log can take up, depending on how many pages you want, it is your year in advance. I put mine on 6 months on this 2 pages and 6 months on this 2 pages, but if you wanted to, depending on how many things you do in a year, and I don't really have a lot of big things that I do in a year, you could have 6 months on the top and 6 months on the bottom, or 6 months on this page and
Yeah.
6
okay.
months on this page. What I did with my last one. See, I started in January, and I started at the end of January in 2018, so I didn't really have anything left to put in here. But I made these long lines. I could have also taken this marked across here. And granted, I would have counted to the halfway point, being who I am, and then gone July,
Okay, yeah.
August, September. So see, I could have done that instead of having two different spreads.
Totally.
All right. Time for tea.
Yes. Here, we'll go back to this. Cheers.
Cheers.
To organization.
Well, let's hope it works.
Here's hoping.
Right. It will work.
It will.
What you will notice on my last one is that I did put some washi tape here so that it made it easy to find this page. Even though I have an index that tells me that it's pages 3, 4, or 4, 5, 6, and 7. Put that there so that I could find it easily.
Definitely. Jump right to it then.
Mm-hmm. Another good thing that you can use this for, I'll put this,
over here?
yeah, is goals. You can put your goals on here for the year. Different things that you've got, you know. And this is washi tape right here. I made a little arrow washi tape, or I found some and put it there. So I'm like, this is me going forward.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll come back to this one. But then you can make lists. Like I like lists.
Mm-hmm.
These are books to read.
Lists.
And these are books that this was just fun. I cut this out and pasted it in. So you don't have to draw everything. I drew this part up here. But this was something I got off the internet and printed it out and pasted it in. And these little eyes are washi tape.
Oh, that's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the eyes are adorable. I love that.
These are videos to watch, films and movies. So when people ask me if I've watched something and I haven't watched it, and they're like, oh, you've got to see Hereditary. I will just add that right here.
For all you horror fans out there.
Yes. Hereditary. All right. So I drew this part because I'm weird, but this is washi tape. Or you could just leave it blank. You don't have to put anything there.
Weird. I love that you said weird because this is just absolutely gorgeous. I love that. It's amazing.
Thank you. I have a list of costumes for Halloween that I want to investigate. Yeah. Now here's one of the things that you might get to is the first, and this is what a lot of people use this for, is they have a spread of the month in advance, you know, and like I said, I just put this washi tape on here so it was easy to find. But this is January 2018. I didn't write 2018 up here because I thought, well, this is my 2018 journal, but I do have 2019 stuff in here in the back, and there's enough room for 2020 if I had continued it.
Yeah.
But I slacked off. I have a little section for notes.
You had different priorities.
I had different priorities. Mm-hmm. That's right. So
we do healthy self-talk here.
That's right, we do. I drew this one. I counted out my numbers of dots so that everything was the same. Samey.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a blank page there, and I start my week in advance. Exactly. So this is January 1 through 7. And I put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There are so many different ways to do your weeklies and your monthlies. And you can search on the internet for bullet journal spreads. And that's what you'll find. You'll find these nice varying ways, and people make them as complex. There are people who do calligraphy and watercolor and all sorts of things that I thought, I don't have time for that, and I'm just all I'm gonna do is this. But I did it. This one I changed up. Even after a week, I started changing it. You'll notice this says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, da 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 da. M, T, W, T, H, F, S, and S. Because I was like,
yes.
I just can't be bothered to write
perfect.
Monday out when
No.
I know it's for you. Whatever works for you.
Yeah.
More things to do. All the way through the 31st. And you'll notice I have a notes and miscellanea here. That's a brain dump. Just whatever. Sometimes if I found a website that I liked, I'd put it there. This is a knitting log. This is my knitting pattern and how far I had gotten on
cool.
it. So
Nice.
now when I pick this knitting up again, I can come right to this.
Yeah.
And I know where I left off.
That's great.
Again, another copy and paste. I put a freestyle in here just for fun because I like to doodle, and then I didn't. And that's okay.
But it's there for when you want to.
Right. I wanted a new car, so I use mine a lot for lists of things. Right? Things I want in a new car, things I want in a new house. And then February. You notice I changed up February from January. So here, let's go back and look at January. January took 2 pages. February, all on 1 page.
Yeah.
I put my little book club, what I'm doing here in book club.
Very cool.
And I put to do on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
That's my, what am I doing this month?
Absolutely.
And again with the washi tape, because I like the washi tape.
Absolutely.
Sorts of things. This was a party I was planning,
Yeah.
and I will put little things in there.
Yeah.
Restaurants to try, ukulele songs to learn, recipe parties. March. Now by March, I was tired of drawing out these lines.
Yes.
So I found online a calendar that you can look up, bullet journal free printables. They're all over the place, and there are some really good tutorials and people who offer you free and interesting stuff.
Very cool.
So I printed this out and I just pasted it in, and then I only drew out the other things, and again my book club. These are websites from music, more writing.
And it can also kind of be whatever you have time for. So
Exactly.
even if you like drawing it, but you don't feel like you have time in February, then you print something out for February.
Right.
But if you have time and you want to put a little more effort into it, you can color it, make it pretty.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
More writing ideas. Now you'll notice here's June, and then puns, and then there's July. I didn't have a lot of things that I did, and the reason why you don't put in the month from ahead of time is so that you can just fill in all this stuff between,
Yeah.
and you just keep going.
That's really cool. So it's kind of like on like the last day of the month or the first day of the month or something, you just sit down for 10-15 minutes, throw your calendar in here, forward over any events that you might have,
That's right.
and you're good to go.
That's right.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. That's great.
Now, I have used in the past, I don't know if you can see this,
Oh, that is fun.
some fancy scissors.
Yes.
And instead of putting washi tape, I just
Oh, that's a lot of fun.
trimmed that.
Yeah.
It's, car names. This is a poem that I liked. I pasted in there. It's much like a journal.
Yeah.
For me, this is like a journal. Now, for other people, they use it specifically like a scheduling planner.
Yeah.
So every month they'll put in the month in advance, and then they put in their weeklies. You notice I stopped doing weeklies because I wasn't using them.
Yeah.
They will put trackers in. I didn't put trackers in because I was not tracking anything. But people, you can track exercise.
Yes.
You can track your moods.
Yes, I was watching one that was you tracked your healthy habits.
Yeah.
And so it could be like mental health, and you could see, you make a little tiny calendar and you put a circle around the day if you remembered to meditate.
Right.
Or something like that. Yeah, and that's a really cool idea.
If you had an injury, you want to track how how you've recuperated.
Yeah.
If you pain levels. If you're diabetic, you can track your blood sugar.
Yeah.
You can track, schoolwork. You can track anything.
Yeah.
And that's good kind of for those of us that like to go back and see how are we doing and under what circumstances are we doing better or worse.
Yeah.
It helps to see, just in general to get an overall picture.
Definitely.
Plus, or track your water drinking.
Yes.
I need to do that.
Yes. That would be great. Or your steps.
Track your steps. You could.
Yes.
You could if you have a business like podcasts or vlogging or something. You can. There's a lot of people who will use this to track, their recording schedule. Really, that's it. Just to make sure that you number your pages, and so that you can put them in your index.
Oh, and then so this is what's the month? The year at a glance. I think I might.
You
just
can
call
it
year
that.
At a glance. Yeah.
The bullet journal people call it future log, but you call it year at a glance. Call it whatever you want. The thing about the bullet journal is it can be anything you want it to be, pretty much.
Yeah. So look at that. In the first, I did this in probably 5 minutes while I was sitting here.
Right.
Yeah, this is fun.
And it helps you organize. A lot of people use it daily. They put in, they have hourly. Here's what I'm going to do every hour.
Yeah. The other nice thing about doing a bullet journal as opposed to getting a planner somewhere is that it's July.
Right.
It's hard to find a planner that starts in July. But, you want to start getting things together, getting organized right now. So I could go back and instead of doing January through December, I could start here with August.
Yes.
And that's really cool. So you can kind of, again, that's another reason you don't put in the months, because sometimes, if you miss a month, you miss a month. And then you go and move forward and keep going with the same things that you want to keep track of.
There are a lot of journals out right now that talk about your goals, your personal goals, your physical goals, your spiritual goals, your educational goals, and they're already laid out, which is nice, and you can build them. You can do that with a bullet journal too. You build it yourself,
right,
or you don't. It all depends on what kind of person you are.
Yeah, and it's important to remember that what works for one person isn't going to work for everyone. And this process is nice because it lets you really get to know yourself a little bit better and recognize what works well for you and what really does help you stay on track and what doesn't. So I like that for me personally too. I'm looking forward to this because it's always good to get to know yourself a little bit better and see what kind of things motivate me to do the things that I want to accomplish.
I think you learn a lot about yourself too, because even though at the beginning of these you have here's your task, if you're moving your task, here's if you've completed your task. I don't, I'm not task oriented in that same way.
Right.
So my party planning, for instance, or whatever my project is, I have lists of here are the things that needs to happen. Here's the things that I need to do. Here are the things I need to buy. And there are things you can get. This, like I said, I've got this journal. I've got this. I'll show you all this too.
Oh yeah, this thing is so cool.
I got this as a little bandolier. I got it off of Etsy, and we will put a link for them too, because it's to this Etsy shop. I will put my pins in it.
So cool.
A little snug.
Yes.
Right like that.
I love that. Well, in this journal in particular,
Yeah.
that is from how do you say that?
Let's see. Limome?
Lemome.
Lemome? Lemome? I don't know.
It's Lemome. But that has a little
Yeah.
right on the edge. Yeah.
I really like having something that will attach
Yes.
your pin.
Definitely. That's key for me as well. Very funny too. We didn't intend to buy the same journal. So I think that kind of speaks to this journal
Right.
being a decent one. We both got the same journal, just different colors, without even realizing it. Alicia's does have the dots, whereas mine has the grid.
Right.
I want to show them under here.
Yeah. So here's
that one's
Liesel's.
mine. Yeah.
And you'll see that that's grid paper versus mine, which is the dots.
Yeah. It's just preference.
Right.
Yeah.
You can use either one. Now, the other thing about these is that unlike the bullet journal from the bullet journal people, Ryder Carroll is the one who wrote the book and who came up with all this. There is, and I think you can get this at Barnes & Noble maybe,
Oh, neat.
let me see if you can see this.
Sure.
Look Term 1917.
Okay.
It has the key already printed in it for you to fill out.
Okay.
It has tips. I said I wasn't going to hold that up. Tips on getting started.
Yeah.
Read the instructions at the back of the book. Back here, indexing, migration, the daily log. The daily log is, of course, the daily thing. The event bullet, the note bullet, how you create signifiers, all of this
Very
rapid
cool.
logging.
Wow. So if you want to go a little bit more in depth with it, you can get this journal specifically, and then it'll really give you all the ins and outs
Right.
of the bullet journal.
So,
Well, this is just fantastic. I'm very excited about this.
yeah.
Maybe we can have a recap at some point, or a revisit to check in and
Certainly.
show everyone our journals as we continue using them.
And this is
That'd
just
be
the
cool.
basic.
Yeah.
So we can go over daily logs. We'll do it, even though I don't use them.
Yeah.
We can
Definitely.
do a
And
daily
it's-
log one. And,
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not sure what's going to work for me yet. So, but
well,
give it a shot.
you're much more calendar oriented than I am.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm much more big picture, what all needs to happen. Now I've got lists.
Right.
I like my lists.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, this is just a book of lists.
Yeah.
But for other people, it's your brain.
Yeah, yeah.
What is in your brain?
I think that's, if you boil it down, that's what I like so much about it, because it's like you're getting to look inside your brain,
Yeah.
because that's what it'll be.
And it's one book that you can keep in your bag
Right.
instead of all these tiny ones that you're like, where did I put that piece of paper?
Right. Well, and I love that, like, in yours you had a page that had a recipe on it. You have your ukulele songs, you have, and then on top of that you have your daily, your monthly, your, whatever else is going on, and your to-do lists and all these different things. I love a one-stop shop.
Yeah,
That'll
I do
be
too.
super cool. Yeah.
I do too.
Well, thank you so much for this.
Hey, that
This
was
is
my pleasure.
awesome. And thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
So
All right.
I think we are all set for now. Thank you again for joining us for the summer. We had a wonderful time. And we will keep you posted on all the fun fall things that we have that we're cooking up.
If you have suggestions,
Absolutely.
send them our way.
Let us know what you'd like to see more of, and we can see what we can do.
Yay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Alicia.
My
This
pleasure.
was awesome.
Thank you, Liesl.
Yes, of course. And I'm sure we'll see y'all again soon. Bye.